Today we're diving into something pretty incredible. What if some of the world's oldest scriptures weren't just about faith, but actually held a kind of roadmap to our health? A roadmap that modern science is just now starting to prove is spot on. Let's get into the science behind these ancient superfoods.
I mean, just think about that for a second. We're always chasing the latest diet trend, the newest supplement, but what if the most powerful health wisdom has been sitting right there, hiding in plain sight for thousands of years?
Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore. We're going to look at foods that many people have seen as just, symbolic. And we're going to show you the hard science that proves they are absolute nutritional powerhouses, capable of changing our health right down to the cellular level.
So, where do we start? Let's begin with two absolute staples, the cornerstones of the ancient world. These were used for everything: cooking, rituals, medicine, and their power is, frankly, remarkable. You've probably heard the story of the Good Samaritan, right? When he used olive oil on that wounded man, it wasn't just a soothing gesture. No, this was frontline medical treatment for the time. And today, science can tell us exactly why it worked so well.
The secret is a compound called oleocanthal. Now get this, it's found in high-quality extra virgin olive oil, and it works in almost the exact same way as ibuprofen. It targets the same inflammatory pathways in your body. So this wasn't just some nice oil. It was a powerful natural anti-inflammatory. It was medicine.
And then we have raw honey. This stuff is just incredible. It basically launches this three-pronged attack on germs. First, it actually creates hydrogen peroxide, a natural antiseptic, when it touches your skin. Second, its low pH makes it a terrible place for bacteria to live. And third, it has this special protein, defensin-1, that literally just destroys bacteria. It's so powerful that modern clinical trials have shown it can actually take out superbugs like MRSA.
Okay, so from those foundational foods, let's move on to fruits. And these weren't just any fruits. They carried huge symbolic weight, and, as we're about to see, some equally massive health benefits.
This story is just a stunning example of real prescriptive medicine from thousands of years ago. The king is dying from a nasty infection. And what's the cure? Not just a prayer, but a specific physical treatment. A paste made of figs applied directly to the infection. And it works. We now know figs have enzymes and antimicrobial compounds that do exactly that: fight infection and help heal tissue. Real medicine.
Now think about pomegranates. They weren't just food, they were a powerful symbol. So powerful that they were carved, 200 of them, into the pillars of the most sacred temple. That level of honor tells you that people saw this fruit as having almost supernatural power.
And science shows us where that power comes from. Pomegranates have this huge antioxidant molecule called punicalagin. But the real magic, the really cool part, happens inside your gut. Your body breaks it down into these other compounds called urolithins, and these things are incredibly potent anti-inflammatories. It's like a two-step healing process that starts with one piece of fruit. And the modern results are undeniable. Eating pomegranates has been clinically shown to support your entire cardiovascular system. We're talking about reducing blood pressure, stopping bad cholesterol from oxidizing, making your arteries more flexible, and just calming down inflammation all over. It's like a total tune-up for your heart. Okay, now let's talk about the grains that fueled the ancient world. And I want you to forget about empty carbs, because these were dense, powerful, nutritious foods that are fundamentally different from what we're eating today.
Take barley, for example. It was considered a humble food, but it turns out to be one of the healthiest grains on the entire planet. It is absolutely packed with a fiber called beta-glucan, which is a superstar for your gut, for lowering cholesterol, for keeping your blood sugar stable. I mean, just look at the chart. It has more of this good stuff than even modern health foods like oats.
And this is so important to understand. The wheat from the Bible is not the same plant we call wheat today. Ancient grains like einkorn were genetically much simpler. They had a different kind of gluten, which a lot of people find way easier to digest. They were just naturally higher in protein and nutrients because they hadn't been bred for just one thing: massive yields.
All right, finally, let's open up the ancient medicine cabinet. And you know what? It often looked a lot like a modern spice rack. These were plants that were used every single day for flavor, but everyone knew they were also potent medicine.
This line is just wow. It's so human. The Israelites are in the desert, and they are literally crying because they miss garlic. Why? It wasn't just about making their food taste good. They were missing something that kept them healthy, something that was their first line of defense against sickness.
And allicin is the reason why. This is the powerhouse compound in garlic, but here's the trick. It only gets created when you break the cell walls, when you crush it or chop it. It's like flipping a switch that unleashes this broad-spectrum weapon that works against bacteria, viruses, fungi, pretty much any pathogen you can think of. So for thousands of years, people read that famous line, "Purge me with hyssop," and they thought, okay, that's a beautiful spiritual metaphor for being cleansed. And it is. But then scientists got curious and actually tested the hyssop plant, and what did they find? The symbol was built on a foundation of fact. The plant itself contains powerful antimicrobial compounds. It was a literal physical purifier.
So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? First, quality matters. We're talking raw honey, cold-pressed olive oil. The less processed, the better. Second, this ancient wisdom didn't come from a lab. It came from generations of careful observation. They just paid attention to what worked. And maybe the most important lesson of all, they didn't really see a difference between food and medicine. The food you ate every single day was your medicine.
And that really brings us to the final thought here. All of this ancient knowledge now being proven by our most advanced science, it leaves us with a really powerful question to ask ourselves. The next time we feel unwell, before we reach for a pill bottle, maybe we should reach for the pantry first.